So, everyone's been asking me about what my thoughts were on the Red Sox collapse at the end of the season this year. And, boy, do I got a lot in store for you guys because I think the Red Sox, collapse is all one of two things. One, they just got lazy, and two, they're all overpaid. Now, what I'm going to talk about in this video is quite simple. The title explains itself. The collapse of Moneyball and Dream Teams. Look at the Yankees, look at the Red Sox, look at the Miami Heat, look at all these teams that go over salary cap and spend a fortune to build their mega teams. Look at where they end up. Yankees choke almost on a yearly basis nowadays because they spend all this money. Their biggest superstar, or their supposed biggest superstar, Alex Rodriguez, joke artist. Yeah, he does great in the regular season. He does wonders in the regular season when he's healthy. But he's never gotten the job done in the postseason. Just like LeBron James of the Miami Heat and their little big three dream team. Oh, LeBron James is great in the regular season. My gosh, he puts up 50-point games, has all these, triple doubles and, things of that nature. But he chokes when it counts the most. And I have another philosophy. The only time these big time players ever play good is when their contract year is happening. When it's the last year of their contract and they want more money. That's the problem with American sports. That's the problem with sports in general. To me, a player should be paid based on performance. Not because of your name, not because of how much you think you can draw on ticket sales, not based on any of it. The Yankees, wow, they got a lot of great players. But to me, they figure, oh, well, I'm getting paid all this money. I don't have to play as hard. It's teams like the Rays and the Giants and the Rangers, and the Brewers by that margin. I like teams like that don't have to spend a whole ton of money to win games, to win championships, to be successful. Because they know how to develop their farm system. That's why Detroit's been good, or decent. The Tigers I'm talking about. That's why they've been decent for the last 6 years. Is because they've built their farm system. They made good draft choices. They made good roster moves and acquisitions. Yeah, they have a couple. They are over the salary cap, but they're not overboard like the Yankees and Red Sox. I'll tell you another team in baseball: the White Sox and the Cubs, the two Chicago teams. They hand out all these big money contracts to all these players. They're supposed to be superstars. Look at where it's got them. Chicago, Cubs. I can't remember the last time they were a threat in the postseason or won their division. The White Sox had the best team on paper in the American League other than the Yankees and Red Sox. Didn't do nothing this year. And in fact, they even lost their manager, Ozzie Guillen. Got traded down to Florida, where he belongs. It's ridiculous. And in the NBA, let's talk about the Lakers. Talk about Miami. They, in the past and even in the present, They spend all this money to buy mega teams, to buy superstars, and put them all together. Well, there's a problem with that. Someone always wants more money. Someone always has a bigger ego than yours. And someone always has to try and outshine the other. To me, the Chicago Bulls of the 90s were perfect. They had one megastar, Michael Jordan. And yes, there were other stars on that team. But you know what? It was because of him that they became stars. LeBron James never made anybody successful except for LeBron James. Michael Jordan made Scottie Pippen successful, Steve Kerr successful, John Paxson successful. Michael Jordan made all these guys successful and made them a lot of money, some of which they probably didn't deserve. But you know what? In the beginning, the Bulls didn't spend a ton of money to build a dream team. Michael Jordan built himself a dream team by being a great player and making the players around him better. It's just like the Dallas Cowboys, who spend all their money on guys like Roy Williams. Boy, you would have thought they would have learned from the Detroit Lions mistake on that one. But no, they didn't. That's funny, Jerry Jones bought himself all those Super Bowls with Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin and that cast. Well, you know, back then, you were allowed to do that. You could get away with doing that. But you know what? Jerry Jones, the Steinbrenner family, you guys that own the Red Sox, that don't work no more. Develop your farm system. Develop your rookies. Develop. And you'll be successful. Well, like I said, look at some of the teams that are successful today. The Brewers, the Tigers, the Rockies, just certain teams like that have been in the playoffs the last few years. They developed their young players and didn't go out and spend a fortune for the most part. These mega teams, these dream teams, these Moneyball teams, they're not going to work anymore. Granted, they may get lucky once in a great while and win a championship or, steal some victories. But look at, another example. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Look at all the money they spent in the offseason. And do they have a winning record right now? No, they don't. They have nothing to show for the money they spent. Now, the Washington Redskins, on the other hand, boy, I tell you, oh wow, I can't even tell you how much they've improved. But you know what? They stayed under the salary cap. The Patriots, they're doing good, but they won't make it. It just amazes me that these dream teams and these Wall Street guys who have all this money don't get the picture. Don't buy every superstar you think you can buy. Develop your farm systems. Develop your guys in your developmental leagues. Work on them. Not only will you save money, you're probably going to be more successful in the long run. Like I said, it's been proven again. Dream teams, Moneyball teams, mega teams with mega superstars are not cutting it anymore. Look at Boston. Boston had Boston had 2 great years after they got the Celtics. Yes, the Celtics. After they got Garnett, Allen, and Pierce together. You know what, though? They're all old. And they're all overpaid. And that's why they haven't been to a championship in a couple of years. And are they doing anything to develop their young players? No, they're not doing anything. So the way I see it, when those three guys retire, Boston, up here, down here. And you know what? No one's to blame for it. The fans aren't to blame for it. You know, the people who work in those arenas aren't to blame for it. It's the owners. It's the people running the front office who don't realize you gotta develop young players and young athletes. Just like I said, you get too many superstars on a team, egos clash. And it begins to be a battle. Look at the 2004 Los Angeles Lakers. Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. Look at what happened. They were supposed to be unstoppable. They were supposed to be the best team ever. Look who came and beat them. A team that wasn't given a chance. The Detroit Pistons. And you know what? The Detroit Pistons didn't have any megastars. Maybe except Rasheed Wallace was a name. But they were a cohesive unit. They didn't have egos. They weren't out to make their own selves look good. They were simply a cohesive unit. And at that time, it wasn't about how much money was made. It was about bringing a championship back to Detroit. And they did. And I call it the 5-game sweep because Los Angeles got lucky in one of them. So, you know, this is my rant about these teams that spend all this money and end up with nothing in the end. It's ridiculous. You know, you're going to spend that kind of money, spend it, give it away to the poor, give it away to the people that need it. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. It's really freaking ridiculous. You know? I mean, I'll tell you right now, Yankees will not be back to a World Series in 5 years. My prediction. Red Sox probably might not even make the postseason with all the shakeup going on. Miami Heat. LeBron. Karma is a you-know-what. And I bet you won't win a finals for a very, very long time until more money gets spent to put people around you. Because quite frankly, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade ain't getting the job done with you. And your egos are writing checks that your butts can't cash. So you know what? The way I see it, the mega teams, the Moneyball teams, and the dream teams might as well be dead because they're not going anywhere. That's all I got for this topic. If you have any thoughts, post them below. As always, Hollywood's World of Sports, where controversy doesn't come without criticism. Thank you very much.